Today I'm going to be installing this Reflectix radiant barrier on my garage doors here, and I know there's a lot of debate and controversy over the effectiveness of this this radiant barrier installation. I'm going to preface this video by saying I'm not a thermodynamics expert or anything like that, but I do have a lot of experience with this type of installation. In fact, this is a roll that's left over from a previous job. Let me show you what that is real quick. Alright, so I'm on the garage here with Connor and Keith. They'll be assisting me today. You can see here by the glow of my ceiling that I've got the Reflectix bubble installation installed on my ceiling. And I do have a video, I can link to that right here. Basically, I strapped the ceiling with furring strips, and then I taped off the seams with sort of that metal tape. And I had that through last winter, and I do heat the garage with radiant heat. And you can see I had a couple of freeze-ups there I had to fix, and it made a difference, you know. So I've since done the same thing to my walls. And this will be the first year trying with the walls. And I thought what I would do is take my leftover Reflectix and install it here on the garage doors. Now, I'm going to install it directly on my insulation. That's just foam insulation. They're not what you'd call top quality doors. But I'm going to install it directly on there. Now, if you're doing it for the purposes of cooling, keeping your garage cool, you'd want to install it with an air gap. And I had contemplated actually installing it here and actually, you know, having an air gap, and that would help with the insulation, the R value as well. But my doors take a beating, and I don't really want to have that much of a give to them. So I'm going to install it right on the surface. Okay, let me get my tripod mounted here. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is actually measure your panels. Now, I'm going on the inside of the panel, right where the insulation is. So I'm just going to measure from edge to edge, and then I am going to measure the overall height, because I want it to sit inside of these lips. If you are going to install it on the outside, along the ridges here, you could actually use one long piece, and of course you'd want to measure the entire width of your door. Okay? Now another possibility, if you're looking to do this and have an air gap, you could actually cut some long strips. This is just a piece I have left over. You can actually cut some long strips, you know, and go around the entire outer edge of your door, attach these well with double stick tape or you know, spray on adhesive or something, and then you could then come with your full sheet and you'd have a small air gap here. So there's another option if you want to just have a small air gap for the purposes of preventing heat from transferring through the door this way. Okay, but what I'm trying to do is prevent heat from going through the door this way. Okay. So radiant energy more specifically. Alright, so what you want to do is actually lay your material out and measure it out. I'm just using a piece of cardboard so when I run my razor blade across material, I'm not going to be cutting into the concrete, dull my blade. This stuff actually does dull your blade pretty well anyways. So I need to go 50.5 out, lengthwise. Obviously your door panels are probably going to be a different size. Or could be a different size, I should say. And if anything, I want them cut a little larger rather than short. Then you want to take a straight edge and try to find your marks. I just marked it with a knife at 50.5. Find this edge. Okay. Okay. So there's my width. Now I need to get my height, which was 21 inches. Okay. Just going to take my straight edge here. I'll measure out 21 inches. Do the same thing. I'll mark it. I'm going to mark it just a hair over, because my straight edge doesn't actually span the length, or the width rather. Okay, Now, if you had a straight edge that was, you know, the overall width, you'd be better off. I'm just going to go ahead and guesstimate. Alright, let's see how we did. Alright, let's see how we did here. Obviously, another advantage of the Reflectix or radiant barrier reflective insulation is that it's also going to reflect a lot of light, which is helpful in a garage. Okay, so actually that's pretty good. I could probably leave it like that, but I am going to use double stick tape. So let me grab my carpet tape. Okay, so for this I'm going to use just this Duck brand carpet tape. You could use the foam, you know, double back stuff also. And I'm not going to line the whole outer edge. If I were going for an air gap, I'd want to, because I'd want that to be a dead air space. I'm just going to put a couple of strips on the bottom, on the sides, and on the top. Probably far more than really is what's needed, because the stuff actually seems to sit in there pretty well as long as you cut it nice and tight. So I'm just going to use scissors and cut it up. Alright, so I don't know if you can even see the carpet tape, but I've basically got a few pieces on the top, on the sides, in the middle. Okay, I'm just going to carefully slide this down in here so I don't come in contact with that carpet tape. Make sure I have it where I want it. Alright, and that's what it looks like. So hopefully this video has been helpful. I'm going to continue on, do the rest of the panels. I'll show you the finished product. Alright, so I was able to complete both doors with just a little bit left over here. So I just double checked on the Home Depot website. The 4 foot by 100 foot roll is $154. I was getting it for about $130, shipped to my home for free. So again, this Reflectix installation, it has an R rating of only about 1.1, so it's not going to do much in terms of insulating. If I were to cover this, the light emittance value is negated, so it basically would only add 1.1. So you either want to have your reflective surface exposed, or you need to have an airspace so that it can interact with that airspace. Okay, thanks for watching. Hopefully this video has been helpful. I know it's straightforward, but you can see I've used it quite extensively, and again, just having the ceiling done alone made a difference last winter with my radiant heat. So thanks for watching. Leave questions in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and hit that subscribe button if you want to see more of this type of stuff. Thanks for watching. Have fun.